name is Yolanda Babutu, as I have said, from UN, but also the founder of Divine Growth Solutions. Very honored to be part of this event.
It is also important to highlight that access to the clean cooking need to be recognized as a part of the energy transition process.
A very warm German welcome.
We do this by embedding gender action plans.
If we really want to meet that target of being able to increase our portion to 20% by 2030, we really need to look closely at these innovative financial instruments that are really coming into play.
If we look at the evolution of Africa, is that the financing architecture on the continent was not designed for African participation.
By 2050, the energy transition could generate 85 to 100 million new jobs.
South Africa is one of the countries with the highest unemployment rate. Procurement is one of the most powerful levers that we have. I'll say it again. First Power Lines tender excludes local firms as lead leaders.
We will target those black-owned entities which are going to be their partners that really don't know what to do, because it's going to be easy for them to be partners because they don't have to question anything that they do.
And we had to correct the Minister's Skutla, to say, no, Minister, actually, we set the country 2 stages of load shedding during the peak in 23 and 2024.
I think where the challenge lies is how to ensure that we actually develop these value chains and keep them sustainable. And this is where I think, demand certainty or policy certainty is so important.
I go to international conferences and interest in protecting South African interests. You can't train that, you can't put that into a contract. And you were going to be teaching me in the language I needed to be taught in
as far as ensuring that the procurement gets to benefit South Africans, but also you build industrial capacity on the back of your public procurement policy.
When I joined Energy around 2005, when you went to conferences, you would never see a woman as a speaker.
Communities also benefit from just energy transition programs.
And we would also then need to recognize some of the innovations that are coming out of these communities. And if we don't have that holistic approach or that holistic view of the energy transition, then we risk deepening the inequality.
I see this as one of the best type of opportunities that has been brought by the just energy transition on its own. Other than us being able to create employment, there's also that opportunity to address an issue that affects everyone.
I'm big on that. I want to give back to the communities, and I think rural, we neglect sometimes rural and township economies. When we wanting finance, it becomes difficult because there's a lot of red tape.
So in the energy transition, then it becomes very important that as we lead these partnership negotiations, then we lead them seeking equity. They are not extraction deals anymore, they are equity deals.
So in terms of policy, we are obviously requesting government to ensure that there's transparent interconnectedness towards the grid, clear policies for developers and clear policies for projects.
Those risk premium, again, is a chicken and egg, because the most vulnerable communities are actually paying the premium. Talking now, calling for everybody as like integrated thinking type of approach.
Clean Cooking Cash, and it's a payment for households that actively transition from firewood and charcoal to any clean source of energy. Helping people with this transition, and helping is actually the wrong word, rewarding them for this transition. That's what CC Cash does.
And understand that, okay, there's a value chain creation where there could be multiple jobs created and opportunities for people on the ground. Can we have some form of discussion to have these jobs sourced from the local community and support for reskilling and upskilling where relevant? And that's where the challenge lies.
We know the number of 600 million Africans who don't have access to electricity. How can put things under the carpet? We need the energy. If you look at sub-Saharan Africa, minus South Africa, Africa contributes about 1% towards the global emissions.
Large-scale, rapid economic development is possible without nuclear, but it's going to be very difficult.
Our transition will not be able to move forward if we don't have skills and capacity building.
So the metros that are part of C40 are Durban, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni.
On behalf of Lean in Southern Africa leaders and WWG, it is my honor to extend our deepest appreciation to the G20 Energy Transitions Working Group and the Department of Energy and Electricity South Africa for hosting this landmark dialogue alongside the 4th G20 ET, WG and ministerial meetings.